Building a mid-range gaming PC right now involves navigating two distinct hardware philosophies. The choice determines how your system handles high-resolution textures, thermal management, and your future upgrade cycle. Right now, the Radeon RX 9060 XT sits around $500, while the RTX 5070 is priced closer to $600. That makes the AMD card the more budget-friendly option today, but the initial cost is only the first variable to consider. This competition highlights a split in how AMD and Nvidia approach mid-range performance. As this decision tree illustrates, AMD's strategy relies on maximum memory capacity. They provide a massive 16GB VRAM buffer to handle heavy texture loads. On the other side, Nvidia provides a smaller memory pool, pairing it with high-speed architecture and AI software to generate frames. Choosing between these models involves weighing immediate frame rates against long-term architectural stability. The card you select dictates the physical size of your build, the frequency of your next upgrade, and how your PC handles the games of tomorrow. The physical hardware tells the story immediately. The Gigabyte Radeon RX 9060 XT Gaming OC is a substantial card, featuring a large triple-fan cooling array that occupies significant space in a chassis. Compare that to the Gigabyte GeForce RTX 5070 WindForce OC SFF. This small form factor design is heavily condensed, taking up a fraction of the volume seen on the AMD card. The massive footprint of the AMD card limits its use to ATX mid-tower or full-tower cases. The compact Nvidia card is specifically engineered for mini ITX builds and cases where millimeter clearance matters. Before analyzing performance, check your case dimensions. The physical limits of your setup may immediately determine which of these GPUs is a viable choice. This split matrix shows the 16GB buffer on the RX 9060 XT, absorbing massive texture blocks. This capacity secures smooth 1440p performance, but choosing this path means sacrificing Nvidia's DLSS and ray tracing efficiency. While AMD prioritizes memory volume, Nvidia focuses on a generational increase in memory speed. The RTX 5070 uses next-generation GDDR7 memory. This high-speed conduit processes visual information much faster than older standards. The restriction here is the size of the pool. The RTX 5070 relies on 12 GB of memory and a 192-bit bus. To prevent that 12GB buffer from becoming a bottleneck at higher resolutions, users must rely on DLSS to upscale the image and reduce the native rendering workload. As future games increase their memory demands, a 12GB limit could lead to performance drops, whereas AMD's 16GB buffer provides more room to grow. AMD addresses future rendering demands with sheer physical space, while Nvidia attempts to overcome them through high-speed data transfer and AI software. Thermal management is a direct result of these designs. The massive Gaming OC cooler on the 9060 XT uses its large surface area to pull heat away from the silicon efficiently. As the matrix shows, the massive cooler results in low temperatures and quiet operation, though it requires a larger case. Cooling a high-performance card like the RTX 5070 in a small form-factor chassis presents a significant engineering challenge. Because the heatsink is smaller, the fans spin faster to move the same amount of heat, resulting in louder acoustics during heavy gaming sessions. This compact design also lowers the thermal ceiling, which limits the available headroom for overclocking compared to larger triple-fan models. Building a high-performance system in a compact space is possible, but it usually comes at the cost of higher noise levels and less flexibility for performance tuning. In this generation, the best card depends entirely on the requirements of your specific PC build. For the gamer who prioritizes longevity and native performance, the path is clear. This quadrant chart plots the RX 9060 XT in the standard build and longevity section. If you use a standard case and want high-capacity memory for native 1440p gaming over the next several years, this is the better investment. The second archetype is the small form factor builder. The RTX 5070 occupies the SFF and software ecosystem space. It is the choice for mini ITX builders who value compact design and Nvidia's suite of DLSS and ray tracing features. Matching your GPU choice to your case size and your preferred feature set is the most effective way to ensure long-term satisfaction with your purchase. The final decision rests on whether you value brute force memory capacity or architectural efficiency and a small physical footprint. Market prices shift frequently, which can change the value of these cards from week to week. Use the links in the description to check the current pricing for both the Radeon and Nvidia models before you make your final choice. Aligning your hardware with your physical space and performance needs today prevents a costly bottleneck in the future. Thanks for watching.